All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to do lesson 48 today. It's on analyzing measures of central tendency, which sounds like a mouthful, but it's very familiar stuff for you. Measures of central tendency are mean, median, and mode. We've done these before. Mean is the average, which you add up all your numbers and divide by how many digits you have. Median, list your numbers smallest to largest, find the middle number. If you have two middle numbers, find the mean of those two. So if I have 5 numbers, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, my middle number is 3 because I can get rid of those two like that. If I only have 2 numbers, or 4 numbers, my middle numbers are 2 and 3. So I would add them and divide by 2. So my median would be 2.5. And mode, it's the number that is the most often. That's the easiest way to remember mode. All right, so let's get into your practice problems. Find the mean, median, and mode of these values. Now, let me show you something. Okay, so pull up your graphing calculator and we're going to have it do all the work for us. So I'm just going to go into my list. So stat is how you get there. And then I want to edit my list, so I hit enter. And I have nothing in my data values. If you have data in your list, remember you can go up to list 1 and hit clear, don't hit delete, and then hit enter. Okay, so I'm going to list all my values. They don't have to be smallest to greatest. I'm just going to type each of them in individually. And my calculator is going to do all my work for me. 15 and 28 is my last one, I believe. Yep, okay. Still, I have all my data in my list. If I go into stat again and over to calc, one variable stat, stat number 1, if I hit enter and list 1 as my values are, I'm going to have my calculator, the X bar is my mean, and that was 29.22. Repeating, okay? If I go back and I scroll down, because see that little arrow by Q1, it means there's more values. Okay. Scroll down, I have median, they tell me, is 28. And then mode, most often. The calculator doesn't have that for us. But if we just look here, I see that I have 25 appear twice. So the calculator found 2 out of the 3 for me. All right, B, do trucks or convertibles have a greater range of sales over the 8-week period? Okay, so if we look at it, range, let's talk about range. This is also a measure in our statistics. So range is smallest number to largest number. So we just look here in our trucks and I see my smallest number is 125 and I'm looking for my largest number, which is 560. So I'm just going to subtract the 2 of them to find my range. Okay, so I subtract the 2 of them and I find that my range is 435. Convertibles, I'm looking for my smallest number again, and in here I see my smallest number to be 600, and then I'm looking for my largest number. My largest number is 810, so I'm going to subtract the 2 of them to find my range. And I find my range to be 210. So convertibles have bigger numbers, but they are closer together because they're only 210 away, whereas my trucks are 435 away. So trucks have a greater range. All right, the following data shows the ages of 20 students graduating from college, and they have all the 20 data points. C, identify any outliers. Outliers, we've talked about outliers in the past. Outliers are going to be data that's really far away, either really big or really small compared to the rest of the data. In Math 1, we actually learned how to mathematically compute outliers, but here we're just going to ask you to look for numbers that are really far away or on either sides. So if we look through here, look for the biggest numbers, and we see 64 and 59. Do we have any numbers that are really small compared to the rest of them? 21 is the smallest, but it's not that far away from the rest of the data because we have 22s. So my two outliers then are going to be 59 and 64. Okay, describe how any outliers affect the measures of central tendency. Okay, so measures of central tendency, remember mean, median, and mode, range. So mean as our average. So if we have two really big numbers and we add them in, they're going to pull our mean to be higher. We did this a lot in Math 1. They are going to have that really high age, so it's going to move all the ages up in mean. Think about it this way. If you have tests and everybody takes tests in class, and we find the average of test scores, and one person did really, really poorly, it's going to pull down our average test score. Median, so that's the middle number. It's not really going to affect the median very much because we're just crossing out um, your numbers and finding the middle one. So two really big numbers wouldn't matter if they were replaced with 22s in this situation. Mode doesn't really affect mode either. And range, it is going to change the range. Outliers pull the range to be a lot bigger in this situation. Okay, E, the following data show annual mean price of regular gasoline for 10 cities across the U.S. in 2005. What was the median price of a gallon of regular gasoline in these cities in 2005 in dollars? Okay, so what I want you to do is type that into your calculator and use one variable stats to find the median. If you do that, you are going to find that your median is $2.31. Okay, so if budgeting money for gasoline, would you use this measure as central tendency? Would you use this measure of central tendency? Explain. So answer, would you use the median to help you budget, or would you rather use the mode, or would you rather use the mean? Okay, we'll see you guys later.